In this video, we're going to cover the top 3 reasons why you should start biblically responsible investing. First off, let's start with the definition of biblically responsible investing. While the specifics can vary from firm to firm, generally, biblically responsible investing, or BRI, is a style of investing that screens out companies that profit from or promote activities that violate biblical principles. Number 3, the social political impact. Have you ever noticed that we're moving further away from one nation under God, indivisible with liberty and justice for all, rather than closer to it? Many people of faith vote conservatively at the polls, then spend every day of the next 2 years supporting businesses that directly oppose their moral and political beliefs by buying their products and investing in their companies. However, the reality is the dollars we spend and invest every day carry more political weight than our votes do. Unfortunately, we're past the days when a company was just in the business to be the best at their business. Now companies want to impose their beliefs on us through their political donations and ad campaigns. We're no longer just buying a good or service from a company. When we make a purchase, we are also donating to and supporting that company's political and social campaigns, often which may directly oppose our own views. If you want to make a positive change and move the country more towards one nation under God, indivisible with liberty and justice for all, we must stop supporting the companies that oppose it with their actions. Number 2, the academic case. 2 well-established concepts in the academic world of investing are the principle of diversification and the small company effect. Diversification, as you know, is another way of saying not putting all of your eggs in one basket. That basket could mean one stock, one sector, one asset class, or one country, etc. The goal of diversification is to achieve the highest level of return for a given level of risk. The small company effect, on the other hand, refers to the tendency of small company stocks to outperform large company stocks over a long period of time. While there are many theories to try to explain why, history has shown that the inclusion of small cap stocks into a well-diversified portfolio tend to increase the overall portfolio's return over time. So what does diversification and the small company effect have to do with biblically responsible investing? A study was done which took the S&P 500 and split it into 2 separate portfolios, one for stocks that were biblically responsible and the other for stocks that weren't. While the 2 portfolios were about equal in the number of stocks that they held, they found that the BRI portfolio was more diversified by both sector and company size. Additionally, the BRI portfolio had more exposure to small companies than the non-BRI portfolio. This illustrates that by simply adding a BRI screen to an index, you can better position a portfolio to take advantage of diversification and the small company effect. In fact, academia has a term for the idea of positioning a portfolio to take advantage of the long-term drivers of success, such as diversification and the small company effect, and it's called smart beta, or evidence-based investing. Many investment managers worldwide utilize some form of smart beta today. So it's fun to see that one of the best ideas that academia can come up with also happens to be just a natural byproduct of biblically responsible investing. Number 1, the biblical case for BRI. You may be thinking, I'm a Christian, why does it matter what I invest in? Well, it matters because the money we have is not ours, it's God's. God is the owner, we are the stewards of what He's entrusted us with. Psalms 24:1 reads, "The earth is the Lord's and everything in it, the world and all who live in it." As stewards, we're called to manage God's money in a manner that is pleasing to Him. One of the most basic ways to manage money to glorify God is to not use it to invest in things that actively promote or profit from things that are contrary to His written word. For example, the Bible is clear about where God stands on the subjects of abortion, homosexuality, adultery, and substance abuse. However, many people of faith invest in the S&P 500, which contains many companies that either profit from or promote these activities. This is an example of poor stewardship because the person of faith that invested in it must either plead ignorance as they don't know what they own, or they do know and they just ignored it. Either way, it's poor stewardship. Finally, some think it's okay to buy stocks of non-BRI companies because they believe that when they buy the stocks, assuming it's not an IPO, the company doesn't really get their money, they're just simply buying shares from other people on an exchange. Well, that logic is flawed for two reasons. Regardless of how you acquire a stock, whether you bought it, it was a spinoff, or maybe you inherited it, once you own it, you are part owner of that company, which means you share in the profits of that company's activities. And if those activities are not biblically responsible, then you are partaking as an owner in that. Number two, any purchase of a company's stock supports that stock's share price, which can increase the company's ability to further finance their activities. Again, if those are non-BRI activities, then you're supporting things that are against God's will. So that wraps it up. You now have 3 reasons to adopt biblically responsible investing, and I hope that you do. The purpose of this channel is to help educate and equip you so that you can implement biblically based wealth management in your life. If you have any questions or topics that you would like me to address in a future video, please put them in the comments and I'll do my best to address them. Please like and subscribe. God willing, I'll see you soon.